America is being terrorized by gang members and thugs covering their faces, and all of them have a badge. Fight back.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Going to give the green screen another shot. I have not gotten the chance to test it out yet. It's already getting a little bit late, so I'm just going to record as is. If it doesn't work out, because I plan on recording a couple videos right now, I'm going to be a little pissed off. Worst case scenario, I'll leave the background green. I hope that's not the case. I'm hoping there's a background behind me right now. So tonight we're going to go back to the roots a little bit. We're going to get into a Whining Liberal Men video. It's been a little while since we've done it. I've collected a good amount of clips of some soy boys that we can have a good crack at, and some of them might actually even get under your skin a little bit. The clip I'm going to use at the very end is really going to piss you guys off. And of course, the liberals always find something new to bitch about, right? So what is it this time? Well, Trump is bringing over some migrants, but the problem is they're the wrong color.
So you know how they're starting to arrest lawmakers and stuff for opposing what's going on? I just want to let the world know that if it ever gets to the point where they're making arrests for people's opinions, I want it known that I stand on everything I said and I wouldn't take it back for nothing.
Male loneliness epidemic is only getting worse, and now women aren't having enough babies. I don't know, man. Have you fucking tried being a kind, cool, decent human being that doesn't foster an environment that is so toxic to women that they are repulsed by the idea of even being near you, let alone dating you or starting a family with you? No? You're just going to blame it on wokeness and women in the workplace, and you're going to dismantle sex education programs to undo the decline in unwanted teenage pregnancies, and you're going to slide women $5K, the tiniest fraction of what it takes to raise a child. You're not going to increase paid maternal leave or paternal leave or incentivize women in any way when they do have children. All right, fucking cool then.
You know, to find out at 42 years old that I've been living a lie this entire time, it's really tough. It's kind of tough, but ultimately I'm really happy. I just want to say a quick thank you to the black delegation. Thank you for finally recognizing that gingers have been black this entire time. I do identify myself as a black man, and I'm super excited to carry on the work of the black community. So we're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep pushing for rights, and I just got to say, black pride.
Don't you love that MAGA Republicans have to be anti-Pope now?
And I'm going to let you know right now, threatening to take me to jail ain't the threat you think it is, baby. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I done been there, done that, and I'm still friends on Facebook with 3 of the people that I met in the holding cell.
Hey, RFK Jr., I have a question. If people with autism could never do anything in life and are doomed to suffer forever and never contribute to anything, why Elon Musk? Anywhere. Hang on, he might be right. Elon has absolutely never touched a baseball in his life. There is no shot in fuck he has ever written a poem. And he's never worked or paid taxes either, actually. So the RFK might be onto something. We got to get this guy to the fucking government, though.
Okay, let's talk freely for a moment here. What do we know? We have a criminal who is pretending to run the country. Meanwhile, Project 2025 is setting all the rules and making all the policies. We've got a Speaker of the House, Mike Bible-thumping Johnson, bases every single decision he makes on the fucking Bible. We've got a raging alcoholic as Secretary of Defense. We've got the richest person in the world, a tech bro of sorts, pretending to find waste, fraud, and abuse in our government, and they call that Doge. The orange bloated donut is now flying 8,000 white South Africans into the United States and giving them, I guess, citizenship. But what people are saying is that those people are for his private army. We've got families being ripped apart on the streets, having their car windows smashed in and being drug out of their vehicles on the side of the freeway by people who may or may not be actually ICE. I get a few comments here and there asking me, aren't you afraid for speaking out? What if his goons come and try to get you? And I say this, now is not the time to be afraid. Now is the time to speak up, speak out, show up at your protests. We should be millions strong by now because we outnumber these people 4-1. 4-1. I get shitty comments from maggot Nazis constantly on my content, but I don't give a fuck. It's time to raise your voices. If social media is your platform, then use it. If holding up signs and voicing your opinion at a protest is more your speed, then do it. Use your voice.
Okay, he's got a lot to pick on here now, doesn't he? He wants to pick on Mike Johnson for being a Christian, claims that he makes all of his decisions based off the Bible. I don't really think that's true, but he does keep the Bible in his moral decision as he's creating some policies. He wants to, of course, talk about Pete Hegseth, like the rest of them. They always want to talk about Pete Hegseth, claiming that he's a raging alcoholic, yet they had no problem at all with a raging alcoholic as their vice president now, did they? Kind of funny how he tried to make fun of Doge's name, yet he calls it Doge. Maybe he should actually listen to how it's pronounced rather than read how it's pronounced. And I believe they actually did uncover some waste, fraud, and abuse. They didn't pretend to. And it's kind of funny how the left always seems to have an issue when there's billionaires on the Republican side, but when there's billionaires on the side of the left, how come they're never mentioned? It seems like everybody has got their own selfie shot with Alex Soros, doesn't it? And now this is a good one when it comes to the South Africans. I didn't know it was 8,000 actually. I'm hearing that for the first time today. I think there was just 59 got here so far, and maybe there's more that are on the way. They really do seem to have an issue with the skin color. I guarantee you if it was brown Africans that were on the way in, they wouldn't be assuming that it was for Trump's personal army. That's a little bit ridiculous. And it wasn't supposed to be us on the right that are the conspiracy theorists. It seems like it's completely the left now the past couple months. Now they're, one of their new theories is it may or may not be ICE. It's ICE. ICE is covering themselves up intentionally. They're unmarked intentionally. Would it make much sense if you were after an illegal migrant to let them know from a football field away that you're coming? And their idiocracy never ceases to amaze me either. He's convinced that they outnumber the conservatives, Republicans, that the left outnumbers the right 4-1. If that were the case, don't you think that you guys would win the presidency every single time, no questions asked? You're talking 4-1. With registered voters, let's go with half of the country, because about half the country can't vote, right? Because either they're incarcerated or underage. So you're talking, what, 170 million people? And chop that up into 45,000, right? Well, about 42,000, 42.5, if I'm correct. So we're supposed to believe out of 170,000 registered voters, that only 42,500 of them, on average, are the only ones that actually agree with what Donald Trump's doing, the only ones that actually voted for Donald Trump. Wouldn't that make no sense at all that they actually won in a pretty convincing fashion?
I don't know about y'all, but surviving out here kind of sucks. Like, you think I won't take up 3 hots in a cot with some outside time and TV time? Please.
Guys, this has been such a long... Can you believe it's been 10 years since the Pope died this morning? That was this morning. This morning. I swear we're all living life in dog years at this point. All I can assume, though, at this point is that God made a miscalculation and missed his shot. You know what I mean? The only thing I can add to this is, God, if you're listening, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. Okay? I believe in you. Keep trying. Your aim will only get better.
So did anybody else know that in 2021 the UN voted to make food a basic human right and only 2 countries voted against it? America and Israel, of course, the biggest haters of humanity on earth.
Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, and Elon Musk have lost a combined $170 billion. If they would have spent that money reinvesting it into America, like building a soup kitchen and operating it, something like that, I don't know, solve homelessness with that kind of money, straight up, they would have made the money back by now. Like, people would be going out of their way to use Facebook and Amazon and buying Teslas just out of sheer reputation factor. So this is what you got to consider if you're trying to become a billionaire in 2025.
My mama has had bail money set aside since I was old enough to drive. You think she won't put some coins on my commissary for some oatmeal cream pies and a Kool-Aid? Please.
Oh, I support Trump because I love America. Yeah, you can't love the Constitution and stand a guy who wipes his cheeseburger fingers on it. He tried to overturn an election. He praised the January 6 rioters, then he pardoned them. Now he's using the DOJ to go after political enemies. That's not patriotism, that's textbook fascism. Supporting that doesn't make you a hero or patriotic. It makes you the political version of someone who thinks the purge was a how-to manual. We the people wasn't code for me and my favorite dictator. You're not defending freedom. You're cosplaying as the villains our grandparents actually fought in World War II. Follow for more patriotism.
I'm just really upset about something, and I want to delve into it real quick. Again, I know this isn't sports. I know some of you come here for sports. I respect that. But earlier today, a group of 50 white South Africans landed at Dulles International Airport as refugees. And they were welcomed into the United States under a humanitarian designation meant for those men and women fleeing war or persecution. And Trump has suspended this for all other groups everywhere in the world. And almost all of those other groups, or a huge majority, are people of color. And Donald Trump has allowed these 50 white South Africans into the United States because he says that there's a genocide in South Africa. And that is just actually not true. Trump said, farmers are being killed. They happen to be white, but whether they're white or black, it makes no difference to me. And at the same time, you're watching people all over this country being round up, people almost exclusively who are of color, being rounded up by ICE, taken into facilities, exported. But white people are being brought in from South Africa under the false pretense of they're facing this life or death discrimination. It is so fucked up. Like, it is so fucked up. If you don't think these people are racist, please understand this. No brown people are allowed in this country. We are not taking any refugees who happen to be brown. But these 50 white people from South Africa can come in. These 50 white people with their families and their history of apartheid can come in. We need to help the white people of South Africa, and we are allowing them into America. Think how fucking deranged that is. I'm being serious. Even if you're a Republican, even if you're pro low taxes, think how fucking deranged that is, that there are people in the Trump administration believe that the optics and the politics of this, what we need to do are save the white South Africans. And if you're like, this is great, this is so awesome, blah, 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 like, something is wrong with you. Like, something is actually wrong with you. This is the most racist, sinister shit I've seen done in the open by a politician in years. There's been racist, sinister shit done by both parties through the years. This is just, look, we're racist. Look, we're going to let the white people in, but no brown people in. But the white people, come on in. We want to save you. That's what this is. And if you're not paying attention, just Google it. Google South Africa and Trump. Google South Africa and white and America right now. I'm not exaggerating what's going on. It is fucked up and absolutely crazy and disgusting and disturbing, but on brand with this monster and his minions.
Okay, 2.5 minute long clip. The only thing I'm really hearing out of this guy, despite a bunch of other things that he has said with his gaslighting and propaganda and BS, is that what's going on with the South African farmers is simply not true, and you can even check Google. Okay, no problem. I did check Google, and going with the liberal way of doing research, I actually just looked at the first page. And the keywords that I used a little bit different than what he used. I just looked in South African farmers slaughter. And yeah, I find stuff, but I also find other stuff. The first thing is Wikipedia, which I don't usually have much confidence in Wikipedia, but it says South African farm attacks, and it actually confirms that there's issues with that situation out there. But then you have things like BBC, The Spectator, AFP Fact Check, PBS, NBC News, pretty much all stating that Trump claims. So that's the only results that he's looking at, is news stations that he's familiar with, and he's not actually looking at any other things. Besides Wikipedia, even if you go a couple pages in, you'll find other stories from independent journalists and whatnot actually confirming what was going on in South Africa. From my memory, I tried to look up something today. So, YouTube, this is just my opinion. I'm not going to lay it out as a fact. But I remember hearing in 2023, and obviously I found this was a terrible situation, but I was hearing about white farmers that were being slaughtered in vicious ways, and that their natural fluids, I guess you can say, was being used to spell racist words towards them and whatnot. And how this all started, again, going from memory, I can't find the guy's name, but I heard it had something to do with a billionaire, Indian cultured, but lived out in the UK, I think lived out in England, but moved to South Africa, and ended up propagandizing people that were out there, stating like, you know, this isn't right. The white man should not have your land. Again, this is just going by memory, so I'm not going to lay it out as total fact. But there is evidence out there on Google that you can actually find these stories. In 2023, Vladimir Putin even tried to bring some of these farmers over to Russia to give them sanctuary over there. They were being persecuted. That's confirmed. Same thing with the Christians out there, black and white, being persecuted in the Congo. Not too far off South Africa, right? I shouldn't open up my mouth too quick. My geography is not spot on. I just know that it's in Africa. But at the end of the day, this guy's just talking a big game with actually no facts to back it up. He told us to use Google. I just did, and I can confirm, even though I already knew this before, but I can confirm what's going on in South Africa. These are the type of immigrants that you do want to bring into your country, and not because they're white. That's obviously what the liberals want to think. They're thinking, oh, this is absolute proof now that Trump is a racist. But these are people that are actually being oppressed, people that are actually being persecuted. They didn't come here on their own during the Biden presidency trying to take advantage of the system like many other immigrants have. And the truth is, to all you liberals out there, these 59 individuals, instead of like welcoming them with open arms like you should be doing because of what they were going through out there, you've been propagandized and you've already put a label on these people that you dislike them. They're going to be Trump's personal army, or they're already racist and Trump is just trying to make a whiter America. Well, it doesn't surprise me, like white liberals being racist towards white people.
I'm a social butterfly. Go on ahead and put me in Gen Pop and I'll turn it out. And don't think I won't get in good with the COs. Baby, them's my favorite.
Republicans really ruin the ability for everyone, but specifically men, to signal their political views through their stylistic choices. Like, you used to be able to just dress well and maybe have like some accessories, maybe be a little bit effeminate, and everyone would know you were a leftist. But then Republicans realized that everybody fucking hates them, and they could recognize they were Republicans because they dressed like shit, and now they kind of dress like leftists too.
Real quick, for everybody who doesn't know this, if you don't know what habeas corpus is literally what prevents you from being black bagged in the middle of the night because you don't support Trump. If you think habeas corpus should be suspended, you are inferior.
Trump says Pete Buttigieg doesn't have a clue because he'd ride his bicycle to work with his husband on the back. And Trump will insult someone for being fit and gay and start his cabinet meetings trying to catch his breath while getting blown by 12 dudes.
I'm sorry, people are getting pissed off at a kid's father because he killed someone who killed his innocent child? Y'all aren't pissed about the innocent child being killed?
For real, just send me a couple of good books and a couple of letters and pictures of Polaroids on them so I can put them on the wall. And I know they got cell phones in that jailhouse. I'll be seeing them on my own For You page. So, Rodney, if you see this from inside your cell, just know we're going to turn it out when I get there.
There's a lot of fear, pain, and trauma in this dark moment of history, but we must never give up hope. When I was in the depths of an abusive relationship, it was hope that kept me going. Hope for a better tomorrow. Hope for freedom and fairness. And it was because of hope that I was able to leave this narcissist. There's no doubt we have real narcissists in power right now. And to fight narcissists requires us to be loud and bold. Narcissists are not strong. They're weak and insecure. It's time for us to stand up against these bullies, because if we don't, no one else will.
I think this goes without saying, but it still likely needs to be said, that if ICE agents ever show up into my neighborhood, or men wearing masks, cowards who, if you have to wear a mask to do what you're doing, you obviously know that you're on the wrong side of history. If they were to show up in this neighborhood and try and take one of my neighbors, I'm probably going to lose my life that day. I'm probably going to lose my life that day, because I will be out my front door so fast to protect the people around me. And chances are good that if there's more people than myself, I'm in trouble. And that's it for me. But I promise you, you have my word, I'm taking someone with me. And it's sad to think that we are at this point in American history. I respect law enforcement. I'm not a back the blue kind of a guy, but I'm not an ACAB kind of guy either. But if you show up without a warrant, without identification, wearing a mask, and you're trying to take somebody off the street,
It's on site. That's a scary thought, because I feel like sooner or later it's going to happen.
If you have to wear a mask to do what you're doing, you obviously know that you're on the wrong side of history. Really? Because I'm pretty sure every time you guys go out to protest, you're always masked up. You guys cover up tattoos. You wear clothing that you don't normally wear so you can't be identified. You take whatever the geo-tracking off of your phones. You teach each other legal ways to not have to deal with authorities just in case you have to. And you want to claim that ICE should know that they're not on the right side of history because they're wearing masks. I've explained it before and I'll explain it one more time again. The reason why ICE wears masks is because you leftists are extremely unhinged and unpredictable and have become a danger to society. You guys will not even allow law enforcement to do their jobs. You state that every single illegal migrant that is a criminal that they pick up is a US citizen. They've never committed any crimes. They have families, they're being ripped away from their children, they're being ripped away from their uncles, they're being ripped away from their wives, and you have absolutely no proof to back that up. It's just all an assumption. I'm pretty sure that ICE knows more about the individuals that they went to a specific address or workplace to get than you guys do. He claims if ICE shows up to his neighborhood wearing their masks and tries to take away one of his neighbors, that he's probably going to lose his life that day because he will be out of his door to protect them with his life. He'll put his life in the line. No, you won't. One thing I can say about you liberals, when it comes to you guys being at protests and whatnot, yeah, you guys do have big mouths. You have big mouths when you feel that no hands will be put on you. But if you feel that your person is in danger, no, then your empathy goes right out the window because it comes out to looking out for you first. I've stated it before, and I'm absolutely convinced. I believe that some liberals actually do have genuine empathy, but I believe most of you have artificial empathy. You like to put on a show, as if you guys have this massive, huge heart and you'll do anything for anybody. Doesn't even matter if I know you, until you guys actually have to lift a finger or take $1 out of your pocket or bring somebody into your home to home and shelter them. And then he wants to make the bold promise and give his word that if he goes down, he will take somebody with him. Now, once again, this is where you're absolutely proven that you're not living in a dictatorship because you're pretty much while threatening an ICE officer, not an individual officer, but you're threatening law enforcement right on camera, putting it online for the world to see proudly, to display your heroic empathy. And then you want to state that it's really sad that this is the point that we're at. The truth is, this is the point that the left is at. People on the right are not having this mentality whatsoever. They will defend themselves if they have to, but don't you think that they felt really a lot of pressure during those 4 really woke, terrible policy-filled years under Biden, that their border was wide open, your country was left unprotected, and Border Patrol wasn't even allowed to do their jobs. And these people that you're calling family men and true Americans, the only difference between you and them is that they're undocumented, but you still consider them all Americans. These individuals were committing crimes in your country. You want to claim that they've committed no crimes, that they're just innocent, good people that were looking for a better life, yet there's record of them being arrested and released into the public again. You guys are only this defensive over this migrant situation because Trump wants to remove them. If Trump said, hey, you know what? We are going to keep all these migrants here. Good news, liberals, they're all going to get to stay. Then within a week, you guys would all be bitching, well, that's not fair. They're using up our tax dollars. They don't belong here. You guys would flip your story so quick. You know, there's a memes out there that you'll see on X stating that if we told liberals, if Donald Trump, sorry, not us, it's got to be Donald Trump that would have to say it. If he told liberals that air was great and everybody should breathe it, you guys would probably all hold your breath until you just pass away. It sounds mean to say, that's not what I wish on anybody at all, but the point is you guys do whatever is opposite of what Donald Trump wants to do. If Donald Trump wanted the border open, you guys would want it closed. If Donald Trump, I seen today on X, if Donald Trump actually gave every American citizen $1 million, there would be liberals bitching about it, even though they're getting $1 million check. That's not so much what I'm worried about happening. I'm not worried about a liberal opening up his door and trying to go out and attack ICE. I don't really think that they have the backbone to do something like that. But as I stated, they are unhinged and they have become somewhat a danger to society. What I worry for is actually Donald Trump. I'm worried that one of them is willing to put their life on the line to be a hero for the rest of America and not really realize that dark door that they would open. Let's just cross our fingers that none of them are actually that stupid to actually try. All right, guys, that's it for this video. If you guys are new to the channel and you like this type of content, please consider subscribing. If not, if you can like the video, share the video, comment on the video, do something with the video. It'll be greatly appreciated. And until then, I shall see you guys in the next video. Have a good one, guys.
Obama was terrible. He started our division in this country. Obama was loved by Americans. He won us both elections handily. Won in great numbers. He's loved around the world. He united this country. Unless you're a racist. You felt left out. You felt like he abandoned you because, well, he was black and people were racist. They consider that division. Never once did he play the race card. Ever. I mean, again, revered around the world. United the world. Was a great president. Oh my God. The mess he took over wasn't as bad as what President Biden took over. That was horrible. Trump added 27% to our debt. President Biden takes over. Millions out of work, thousands dying every day. America goes back to work. Our country opens wide open. Inflation starts to drop. Job numbers go up. The economy goes up. President Biden leaves office and we're the greatest economy in the world. Exactly the same way President Obama left the office. Greatest economy in the world. People are back to work. He had 8 straight years of job growth. 8 straight years of economic growth. Both records. Never been done by a 2-term president. And Trump destroyed it. Just like he's doing this time. Talking about blue states and red states and I'm not going to help this state, that state. Calling anybody who opposes him out and attacking them. Right? Judges. Congressmen. Mayors. Dividing our country like no one's ever done. President Obama didn't do any of that. President Obama helped every state. Affordable Care Act was for the entire country. And Republicans had over 100 committees and slashed it and cut it, did everything they could and sabotage it. You know, he took over the greatest mess in modern U.S. history, 9/15/08. It was left by GW. It was the worst crash in modern U.S. history. He took that over, and he was well-spoken. He knew what he was doing. He navigated through it, all while Republicans were doing what? Were they working with him? No, they weren't. I mean, that would have been one thing. They were actively trying to sabotage him as he was trying to help the American people, pulled us out of the greatest mess ever left. And that was by GW. It happened on 9/15/08. GW's 8th year in his 4th quarter. On the way out the door, he destroyed the economy for the new president. And he outsmarted Republicans at every turn. You know the worst thing President Obama did to the racists? He was a great president. He was great. And when I say well-spoken, that's not a slam on President Obama or anyone who's black. President Obama was everything that racist white men. He was opposite. He was the opposite of everything racist white men teach their children. He was eloquent. He was wise beyond his years. And he worked really hard for the American people, and he got the job done, leaving Trump the greatest economy in the world that Trump destroyed. And he's doing it again. Spend, spend, spend. $4.5 trillion in tax cuts. Trump's destroying our country and dividing our country like no one's ever done. President Obama didn't do that. He just pissed the racist people off. They felt like they were left out. That's not President Obama's fault. That's the person's fault for being a racist piece of shit. So, thanks for telling us who you are.